What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
Things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night.
Alrighty, good evening, folks. I believe that, yep, I got everything going right, I think anyway. I hope everybody is doing well. don't have a ton of news tonight. I don't know how many tabs there was. Like, I'm thinking 4 or something. Yeah, 4 tabs, and then, of course, the headlines. Um, I wanted to show you real quick before we, get locked and loaded with the show, so to speak. Last night, I talked a bit about one of the businesses that I had yard game it to be specific. And I knew somewhere I had a folder with, as far as I know, the only remaining pictures that I have of anything from Yard Game It, and it's sad, really, to be honest. I don't know. I'd have to go look on Facebook. I might have more stuff there, like real down deep for. But so anyway, let me pop up my screen there real quick for you guys so you can see it. None of these sets are set up. What I did is before I would ship a set out, I would always send the customer a picture and get their approval. And once I got their okay, then the bag got put in on top, and because it had a bag too, the bag got put in on top, and away it went. So anyway, that was a set that I did for obviously some Cardinals fans. Um, there is obviously a set I did for some Broncos fans. We made them and shipped them all over the country. So, and then the bolos you see on the left there, we had what's called no knot bolos, which was kind of a big deal in the ladder golf industry, because or the bolos had a hole drilled all the way through and then a knot on the end on the rope. That's kind of crappy. We didn't do that. What I did was I took and drilled the golf ball about 3/4 of the way through, and I melted the rope and made a nice, real hard end on the end of the rope and stuck it up in that golf ball. And then right in the center of that golf ball, I had a little brad that I'd go in and I'd countersink into the golf ball. And so that brad, nail, essentially that nail, held the bolo together. So that's how I made our bolos. Other folks made them various ways, but that's how we made ours. Let's see. That is actually a marshmallow gun. If you do not know, it shoots the little bitty miniature marshmallows. So if you've never seen one of those, that is a marshmallow gun. So there's another marshmallow gun. There is we went to craft shows, and that's the reason why I have marshmallow guns and I have bows and arrows. Is because we'd go to craft shows, and we would sell just stupid amounts of marshmallow guns and bows and arrows. I mean, just stupid, way more of that stuff than we sold of the ladder golf games. So, and of course, I did some of the vinyl work on. I did vinyl work on some of the bows and arrows, or well, the bows. Okay, another. You notice it says ladder game, not ladder golf, and there was a reason, because the ladder golf guy got all pissed off. Somebody, I guess he did. I don't know if he actually did or not. Registered the name or whatever, but. Was that a bugle arrow? No, it wasn't a bugle arrow. That is a wooden dowel with a piece of sponge cut out. they were they were for the chillin', for the chillin'. So there's a Pittsburgh Steelers ladder game set. I don't have a picture of a set put together, but you can see on the instruction manual that that was our instruction manual, and you can see how it looked. So, and in the way this worked was you had three yellow balls or three yellow bolos for one team, three white bolos for the other team. And then you see some pink golf balls in there. That pink golf ball was a 13-foot rope, and that was to measure in between the two ladder golf sets. So even you had a measuring rope, so to speak, to measure out your sets. So, and they did come with a bag. So they had a bag, but the bag got set on top right before it got sealed up. So that was obviously the Arkansas or the Arkansas Razorbacks. There's just a custom. Somebody went and custom, Rocker Rock, Hillbilly Golf, and then Got Game, Go Dogs. He didn't even have the same things on any of them. So like I said, we reserved the bottom bar and we put our website address on the bottom bar because that was just good free advertising. Um, Here's another side. I have no idea what's on that, but that's everything: the fittings and the all the bolos and all that, and the instruction manual. There's one obviously for a family in Tallahassee, Florida, and another set there. There's another one for the Thompson. That's another Razorback one. But yep, there you go. That was what I did. From a time long, long, long ago. Oh man. Yeah. I really enjoyed that business. I really did. That was a lot of fun. But I'll tell you what, it was a lot of work. It took me about 2 hours to wrap one of those sets because it wasn't one ladder, it was two ladders. You got a full set. And it took me 2 hours just the hand wrapping of the vinyl. And I was trying to build up enough money that I could get some rollers and I could build me a machine that would actually have wrapped the vinyl on them for me. And all I would have had to have done was load the piece of vinyl into a chute and then, peel the backing, load it into the chute, and then just crank, and it would have pulled it in and wrapped it all nice and perfect, and it would have just been a matter of loading it, crank, loading it, crank. But I was like that close to ordering the rollers to do it because that wasn't a cheap thing to get those. So talking three rubberized rollers. Now you could probably do it a lot easier, a lot cheaper, but we're talking 2006. So that was a few days ago. I gotta have me some coffee. Oh man. So yeah, I've got. I just noticed Steve bumped out. Um. Huh. I know he was tired and stuff too, so he may just be tired. I understand. Like I say, I don't have a whole lot. I only got 4 articles brought up for you. Here's something I'm gonna check again right now while I'm right here with you all. Hey man, I hit the wrong key, man. There we go, that's better. And nothing. War News 24/7 has not been updated since the 25th. So 3 days there has been a lot of nada. A lot of nada, if that makes any sense. So I don't like silence on that level. So I don't. So anyway, um, aside from digging up those files, which actually took me longer than I thought it was going to take me, because holy hell did I have that a folder buried. Not intentionally buried, but that is like the only, like I say, the only pictures of that. I have very few files and stuff from back before everything went to hell with my family. Now I do got files. I've got quite a few files actually, but nowhere near what I did have. Um, Nowhere near. So I lost a lot of stuff, including a lot of pictures, and it's insane. But so that happens to be those were on a camera card, and I must have sucked the files off the camera card, put them on my hard drive, and those pictures were in there along with pictures of my middle son Brett. So um, I nabbed those pictures out and figured out I'll show the peoples what I was talking about. Mm, yum yum. I don't know why we didn't do any advertising or anything as far as Facebook was concerned. We sold our sets on eBay. Aside from, I mean, we went to some flea market, or not free market, but craft fair kind of things. Um, but other than that, mainly eBay. So you say we didn't make a whole lot off of the sets by the time he bought everything, paid shipping, and all of that fun stuff. And of course, PVC and fittings and all that's not super cheap. And then you factor in my 2 hours wrapping the damn things. Probably about, I'm going to say 3 hours, 3.5 hours into a set. So, um, about how long it would take to do a complete set, bolos and all. So, little bit of work, but I really enjoyed it. And again, my motivation, my agenda wasn't to get rich. It wasn't to become the next Hasbro. It was to get families outside doing stuff together. Because we went to there's a family reunion, um, kind of a small. We went to it, and somebody had a set, and so we played it, and I fell in love with the game, and uh, and so I got all the information I needed to actually just to make us a set, and it was just one of those, we ought to make these sets and sell them. The thing is, we got to make them better than anybody else's set, and so the only company that sold more than what we did was the one that actually had the ladder golf name. And, depending on what you were looking for, you may have considered it the better set, but they were competitively priced. They were the same price. And his set had kind of thin wooden rails for the sides, and then he had plastic pipes in the center, right? And his definitely not as sturdy as PVC. Nowhere near. We're talking the hard type of plastic. PVC is kind of a flexible, softish kind of plastic. This was the hard plastic, right? Like ABS. And it had thumb screws, like big oversized, like I'm calling them thumb screws, but they were the size of maybe $50 or close to it. And so, you just put your pipe on the end and screw the little thumb screw thing, and that's how you put the set together. And it was all right. And it did have a neat little zipper case, that you slid all the parts into, and then the end of it zipped up. So that was nice. it was a very aesthetic looking set, and it was very well done, very well manufactured as far as a good, again, a good aesthetic looking set. But if you wanted a set, right, there's two kinds of sets. That set, you better take that in when you're done playing. There had been people that had had our sets for years and said that they still looked as good as, years later as what they did new. And the sets we made them, they're outside. They live outside. They're always outside the weather. Well, it's signed vinyl. I mean, it's literally signed vinyl, good quality Oracle signed vinyl. So that's going to last a little while. So we made good sets, and that was the whole point. Was I wanted to make longer lasting, more durable, and in whichever way we could find the niche, make a better set, a more appealing set than anyone else. And I think what really put the cherry on top was that we were customizing the sets to the customer, and that is what really moved us ahead. But anyway, yeah, that's a big thing. If you can do personalization of whatever it is that you're doing, you're gonna have a feather in your cap for sure. All right. Another sip of coffee, and we'll start covering this stuff. All right. I reckon I'll take you guys along for the ride. Russian police order destruction of giant. Oh, wait, that ain't the first one I wanted to do. We'll get to that one. Don't worry, we'll get to that one. CIA retrieved intact UFOs, says Daily Mail. Really? Says American spies have managed to recover at least 9 potentially alien vehicles, 2 of them completely intact, the Daily Mail reported on Tuesday, citing 3 anonymous sources. So, thing I find interesting is spies. Okay. The sources, supposedly briefed on top secret operations, told the UK outlet that the main player in the retrievals has been the Office of Global Access, a branch of the CIA Science and Technology Directorate established in 2003. There's at least 9 vehicles. There were different circumstances for different reasons, or for different ones, one of the sources said. It has to do with the physical condition they're in. If it crashes, there's a lot of damage done. Others, 2 of them, are completely intact. The CIA has a system to detect unidentified flying objects while they're still cloaked and helps special U.S. military units salvage the wreckage if non-human craft land, crash, or are brought down, the source added. We can't even bring down a Chinese weather balloon. Well, yeah, we can, but only after it passes over the country. Another anonymous source described the OGA's role as basically a facilitator for U.S. operatives to access areas where they would normally not be allowed. They are very clever at being able to get anywhere in the world they want to, the second source said. Most of the OGA's operations involve stray nuclear weapons, downed satellites, or adversaries' technology, according to the Mail, but some missions have involved retrieval of UFOs, or as the U.S. government now prefers to call them, unidentified anomalous phenomena. Phenomena? Phenomena. Come on, help me out here. The task at hand is simply to get it into custody and protect the secrecy of it all, one source said. The actual physical retrieval is by the military, but it's not kept under military control because they have to keep too many records, so they start moving it out fairly quickly into private hands. Two of the sources said the OGA coordinates with Delta Force or SEAL teams or even MEAL Team 6 once in a while, working under the U.S. Joint Special Operations Command or the Nuclear Emergency Support Team to recover the potentially alien craft. We have nothing for you on this, JSOC said in a written response to the British outlet. A Nest spokesperson said that the agency's personnel encounter materials from unknown origins on a regular basis, but have never encountered any material related to UAP. One of the sources described the CIA as the portfolio manager of the UFO crash retrieval operation. Recovered radioactive materials are sent to national laboratories run by the Department of Energy, while aerospace defense industry contractors handle other non-radioactive material and intact craft, the source claimed. After 3 military and intelligence whistleblowers testified about the UFO retrieval program to U.S. Congress in July, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer sponsored a bill that would require the government to disclose recovered technologies of unknown origin and biological evidence of non-human intelligence. This UAP Disclosure Act was adopted as part of the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act in September. So, plan to hear about all kinds of doo-doo-doo-doos soon enough. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Is the government talking about UFOs? You may have found yourself in 2023. Not the Twilight Zone anymore because it's present day. Anyway, let me kill that so I can make sure that I cut out any. Yeah, cool. Wanted to make sure I didn't have a bunch of lag on my avatar. Avatar! Oh, I know, that's stupid. I need a drink of coffee. Manana, do 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 do, manana. Yeah, I like the song, man. I mean, that like even could qualify for a theme song for me. It really could. I mean, not because it, has anything to say. And, well, and maybe that that might fit too. But just because it's just kind of you just kind of got to bob your head to it. And you don't mind if it's a song that never ends. You know what I mean? But it has to stop and then restart because that ending is awesome. And welcome back to the show for the Better Sesame Street songs. I reckon we can do some news. We live near here, and hang on. All right, sorry about that. So we live near this facility, and I can't keep names straight. My brothers worked for one, and my dad's worked for the other, and I'm not sure if this is the one that my dad worked at or the one that my brother worked at. My brother worked at what was known as Granite City Steel, and dad worked at American Steel. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know which one for sure this one is. But anyway, layoffs expected after U.S. Steel indefinitely idles primary operations at Granite City facility. This is a big deal. I know one of the things that they made was, if I'm not mistaken, was they did the trucks for trains. The trucks being the wheels and the um, I don't know what you call the assemblies. I guess they're called the trucks, and then you've got the wheels. Anyway, I gotta hang on 1 second. Momento. Oh wow! I thought you guys could see it, but it never switched over. Sorry. Um. Anyway, it says layoffs are expected after U.S. Steel announced it would indefinitely idle primary operations at its Granite City facility. A spokesman for the company sent the following to first alert for regarding the announcement Tuesday. U.S. Steel has been indefinitely idled Granite City's primary operations and will meet customer demand by leveraging the company's active iron and steel making facilities. This action was taken in order to help ensure melt capacity is balanced with our order book. Accordingly, the company has sent the required notices to employees who potentially may be affected. We thank our employees for their contributions and will keep them informed throughout this process. Yeah, thank you, but screw off. Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski released the following statement regarding the layoffs. 2 months ago, U.S. Steel handed out pink slips to 400 workers as they blamed the United Auto Workers strike for reduced steel demand. Today, with strong steel prices and operations resumed at the big three automakers, U.S. Steel is planning to make these layoffs permanent while putting another 600 jobs on the chopping block. It's clear that these layoffs were never about the market and always about targeting organized workers. U.S. Steel must be held accountable. As U.S. Steel works to close up their union-represented shop in Granite City and move operations to a so-called right-to-work state, it's clear that the company's executives are more concerned with lining their own pockets than they are with the livelihoods of the workers who have built their company for generations. I will continue to closely monitor U.S. Steel's strategic alternative review process as we maintain hopes that an American-owned company with strong labor relations can step in to better serve our highly skilled workers and the Granite City community. According to Budzinski, the layoffs include hundreds of workers who were temporarily suspended in September when Blast Furnace B was idled. At the time, U.S. Steel said it was idling the last operating blast furnace at the Granite City Works plant because of risk mitigation after the announcement of the UAW auto workers strike. Illinois State Representative Amy Elick released the below statement regarding the layoffs. I am disgusted and saddened to hear U.S. Steel's plans to potentially lay off up to 1,000 employees in Madison County, that's the county we're in. Granite City employees and their families have provided loyal, skilled labor to the steel industry for decades, and U.S. Steel is pulling the rug out from under them. U.S. Steel should be doing everything it can to keep the Granite City steel mill operating at capacity, and I don't see the company making that effort. I'm willing to work with anyone to help keep these jobs in Granite City. My heart goes out to all the workers and families impacted, especially during the holiday season. I join in the sadness and anger of the city of Granite City and the employees who have dedicated their livelihoods to the steel industry. Uh, Alec encouraged employees impacted by the layoff to contact the Southwestern Illinois WorkNet Center in Wood River to receive job search assistance and potential training opportunities, which is kind of like a form letter answer. Go bother them, don't call me. Pretty much. Pretty much. It's a politician. It's a politician. They got to make it sound good, right? Gotta make it sound good. Like they really, truly, most of them don't care. There are some that I do think care about their constituents, but as many bad apples as there is and compared to good apples, it's pretty drastic. pretty drastic. So, okay, I want to make sure I wasn't lagging, and I'll real quick go ahead and pop this one out. NATO state to close border with Russia. Says Finland. Finland will completely close its eastern border with Russia on Thursday, shutting down the last open checkpoint for 2 weeks. Prime Minister Petteri Orpo announced during a press conference on Tuesday, blaming Moscow for the exceptional situation. The Raha Josepi crossing, located above the Arctic Circle, will remain closed until December 13. 7 other checkpoints on the Finnish-Russian border were closed earlier this month due to a surge of incoming migration Helsinki claimed was initiated by Moscow in retaliation for its accession to NATO earlier this year. Finland is the target of a Russian hybrid operation. This is a matter of national security, Interior Minister Meri Rantanen told reporters. Finland is required to keep at least one border crossing open to asylum seekers under international law. The Finnish border guard has reportedly been instructed to direct new arrivals to the country's airports and ports, where they can then apply for asylum. However, the UN Refugee Agency's representative to the Nordic and Baltic countries warned Helsinki on Tuesday that this was insufficient, arguing the impending border closure would be contrary to international law. Pardon me. Orpo has claimed to have intelligence suggesting Russia was helping asylum seekers reach the Finnish border, and argued the move was legally justified. This is an organized activity, not a genuine emergency, he told reporters on Monday, alleging the ease with which the migrants found their way to the remote border crossing point proved they were sent there by Moscow. Well, have you ever heard about the U.S. southern border? You think you've got a rat problem. Russian police, and I know y'all gonna be devastated by this, and it had to happen, sooner or later. Sooner or later, Let me I'm lagging. I'm lagging like crazy. Hang on. Alright. Unshare. Hang on. Yeah. See? You see how it does that? And that's what it does to Steve. So, that's what it does to Steve. The video all lags out. Okay, now I should be able to bring it back up. And here we go. And you guys can't read it anyway, but still. Let's see. Russian police ordered destruction of giant snow phallas. And I know everybody's going to have broken hearts over that. A prank by students of the Russian Ural Federal University, kind of close to Uranus, but thankfully not that close, right? In the city of Yekaterinburg, right where that's at, I know, has ended with police intervention. That's right. The police went in there and barehanded the snow phallas. Anyway, no, they didn't. But there was some dude chopping away at it with a shovel. That was sad. Anyway, the youth erected a 4-meter-high snow phallus sculpture in a university courtyard before being ordered to destroy it by law enforcement. It took the students around 4 hours to build the giant phallus. However, when they were almost finished, a police patrol arrived. The officers demanded either the sculpture be demolished immediately or its creators travel to the police station for further legal proceedings. The students agreed to remove it. A video that surfaced on social was then published by several Russian local media outlets showed 3 people trying to destroy the sculpture with shovels and jumping at in rather futile attempts to tear it down, although they eventually succeeded, according to media reports. Yes, you remember that, right? Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that penis. You remember that, right? I remember that back in Reagan days. I remember that. Anyway, the incident became the latest episode of bizarre flash mob that has engulfed the Ural City this month. It started with some URFU, I mean, come on, students erecting a similar, although reportedly smaller, sculpture near a different university building on October 31st. Halloweeny. So, they were just trying to keep the spirit, on Halloweeny. Halloweeny. Alright, am I lagging yet? No. Good. I need some coffee though. One momento. Mmm. Coffee good, y'all. I got almost everything I wanted to get accomplished today. I just shy of one of the things I had planned to do, but that's fine. I'll nab it up tomorrow. I been messing around with DCS a little today, trying to figure out a little bit more. Found a place to get some aircraft, some free aircraft, so I learned how to install them and installed them, and I got to set up all my flight stuff for those particular aircraft, and then I can get in there and start shooting people in the face, but or more likely being shot in the face. Because that's how I roll. I mean, literally, we were known. Our clan was called the Deadmen. We were known as the Deadmen because we sucked. We sucked, and all we did was have fun. We were just there for the laughs. So it's like today, I was flying around in the Iris Simulations T6 Texan in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I don't know why, but for some reason that plane don't like to crash. I mean, you it will only detect a crash or give the crash if it lands like on certain spots. It's weird. If you land upside down, it won't crash the plane. I have no idea what the deal is there, but I kept ditching it because I was flying around like an idiot, like normal, and I kept ditching it into the ground upside down. It was kind of hilarious. It was actually, I didn't throw it away. Uh-huh. 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 That would be a picture of me that I sent to Patrick um, in the T6 Texan upside down in Los Angeles. So that was fun. Let's see. Have one to get out there. And then we'll get to reading those bad boys. Let me real quick. Oh, and there I went with the stupid freezy thing. Hang on. I will fix that. I have no idea why it does that. It is so weird. Anyway, one momento. Alright. Now, let me reshare that. And bring you back in. And let's do the headline so I can close this stupid thing and we can stop dealing with lag. It seems like it's real bad today. North Korean spy satellite captures White House, says Pyongyang. Polish farmers join Ukraine blockade. EU reveals impact of sanctions on Russia trade. Paris mayor quits global sewer. That would be what they referred to the social media network X. Watch Russian troops save injured Ukrainian soldier. Ukrainian army hunts drones with guns from 1910s. Kiev theater removes Zelensky name from classic play. West broke promise to Ukraine, says EU states president. Raising Iron Curtain will cost the EU country billions, says Russia's top MP. EU officials fear Ukrainian military collapse, says Wall Street Journal. Russia has principled stance on nuclear weapons, says Foreign Ministry. German economy to slow without green transition, says Vice Chancellor. Americans don't want to keep funding Ukraine, says Congresswoman. Kiev reports using Western weapons in Russia. U.S. blind to Ukrainian terrorism, Zakharova says to RT. Russian court extends detention of Wall Street Journal reporter. Binance founder ordered to stay in the U.S. ahead of sentencing. U.S. trying to whip up unrest inside Russia, says Moscow. NATO to keep Ukraine invitation in back pocket. Bank of Israel estimates costs of Hamas war. The West opposes all the peoples of Russia, says Putin. Russian assets could be confiscated under the new EU sanctions, says media. Ukraine to rename Crimean cities. Network of Ukrainian run drug labs busted in Russia. Turkey demanding F-16s for NATO expansion, says Sweden. European Central Bank says AI creating, not killing jobs. NATO slaughtering Ukrainians to fight Russia, says Kremlin. Hunter Biden is willing to testify. Russia considering grain export ban, says Izvestia. A communist leader reveals start date of Russian presidential race. Scholz urges support for Ukraine despite budget crisis. Strong Russia vital to world order, says Putin. Taiwan independence means war, said Beijing. Islam needs radical changes, says Netanyahu. Let's see. I read all those. Western education systems degrading, says Putin. Ukraine has used chemical weapons, says Russian general. Israel must face international court, says Erdogan. Putin aid reveals peace terms Russia offered to Ukraine. Europe is paradise, says EU states leader. And then Zelensky is dreamer of the year, says Politico. Dreamer of the year. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's see. Yep, I popped back in the right spot. Fun times. I'm glad that that's over. And I'm also glad that that Cyber Monday and all that bullshit's over too, and then the following days, or the following nonsense, man, they do way too much of that nonsense. They really, truly do. What up, Steve? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I heard just for a second, and then that was it. I don't know. I am having one heck of a time tonight. I know that. Um, I have to keep bouncing back and forth because I keep freezing up on the the Watchman recorder keeps freezing up. It's weird. Um, so not now. So I gotta have coffee though. Up, seen him, and seen him pop out and back. Oh man, you gotta have a vape. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what's messed up. I don't know if their servers are all like lagged out tonight or what. There's certainly something up. Still not too far behind. Yeah, if you're having issues, Steve, I think they're having server issues because I'm having issues. Yeah. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Anyway, yeah, I think they're having issues. I I'm gonna go ahead and hop off anyway. I I got a fair amount did. I did a lot like right towards the end of the well, right before the show. I had a bunch of stuff that I had to I'd say bunch of stuff, but I had to make oil today, make gummies today, trash day, you know. Huh. Just nonstop craziness today, pretty much. So tomorrow, uh hopefully I can get the remaining two or three things done that I have gotten on a to-do list. I heard something.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. What is it lagging out on you real bad?
No, not yet. I had to leave and come back in, and hey, it helps to turn the headset on.
Oh, yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah, I I didn't push my button down on my slick little button pad here. So
Oh man, I tell
I
ya.
I had I didn't know it. They'd sent a notice out, but I didn't know it was the first time they've done it in the evening as a constitutional law class, and
Mm.
so I jumped over there to watch a little bit. So I missed what you've done. I did see some pictures of your
Oh, the
ladder
sets.
game.
Yeah, yeah. I missed that. That was awesome. That was awesome. A lot of work, I'll tell you that.
Always is, Mike.
And
Every time.
I am like
What?
very particular. You know, everything had to be perfect.
Well, that's okay to a point, but you don't need a gold-plated drill bit to drill oil wells either. So
Well, no, and as far as that stuff, we had the cheapest vinyl cutter money could buy. We had the cheapest drill press from Rural King money could buy. We had a Black and Decker miter saw. You know, I mean, I made all of our own jigs and stuff like that. I made myself, so um, it wasn't nothing but a thing. But you know, we just nothing that we had was none of our tools and equipment was anything commercial whatsoever.
so did
You
you
know, we
sell some?
we sold a shit ton of them. I couldn't keep up with the orders.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
That's a nice problem to have.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I kept busy with that. In fact, I was able to actually I had burnt my hand because as I was saying earlier, I for the ropes for the bolos, the ends, I would use a torch and I would melt the end nylon ropes with plastic, and it would make a nice hard knot on the end of it,
Right.
which was great for the nail to catch and hold on to, so it wouldn't come out. So anyway, um, I had a wooden two pieces of wood that I would roll the rope in between. After I got it good and melted, I'd roll it, and I knew just where to, how far up to hold it to make it nice and uniform, so it just fit in there nice and perfect. And so I did whatever, and I hit my hand with rope, and it was rope that actually, I don't know, I got distracted or something, and the rope burned for too long, and it actually got a nice big flame on. I mean, I had to put it out. Well, I put it out. I didn't intend to, but it was like as it was flaming up, when I looked down, I put my hands together, and sure enough, I went across my damn hand with that flaming nylon rope and put melted plastic all across the palm of my hand.
The burn
And
that keeps on burning.
oh my God.
Rubber and
Oh my
plastic
God.
and down on your arm or something, and it just doesn't quit.
Oh. And and it, the whole freaking palm of my hand. And, and so of course, I went to the, um, doctor and everything. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't need to do that. I got it off. There wasn't any plastic still stuck to me. It did blister bad. I mean, my whole palm was a blister. And and so I bandaged up good. I did go to the doctor, and then consequently got a doctor's note from the doctor because I did maintenance at Walmart, floor maintenance, basically janitor maintenance. And so, one of the jobs that I did was push the damn broom.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even do that. I couldn't operate the buffer machine. I couldn't operate the machine that scrubbed the floors. Um, I couldn't operate any of that because my palm. And so, uh, I told him, just at least give me, 3, 4 days off. Let me try to get this thing to air out a little bit and get something tough built up on it so I can work. And that's all I needed. Well, um, so it took 3 days before I felt like I could go back, and I called him up and told him, my doctor's thing said for 4, it was good for 4. I was off 3. I called him up. I said, I'll be back, and showed up, and did your stupid Walmart nightly meeting at the beginning of the shift. And then everybody went off to do their thing, and sure enough, they called my name over the intercom and went back to the back, and they were letting me know that my services were no longer needed. It is messed up. Now, the reason, because I didn't miss a lot, I didn't miss much at all, aside from twice. For one, I burnt my hand, but I just got back from being off because my appendix exploded. And so I was out for, I don't remember now. I don't know if it was like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't remember. But I was out because of my appendix exploded. So I kind of didn't have a choice there. And, uh, and in fact, I initially went back. When I initially went back, the doctor made it very clear because I was a pain in the ass. I wanted to get back to work, and the doctor made it very clear, light duty, light duty. And I told him that because I knew I was hurting. I knew I was being ignorant for wanting to go back to work so soon. And and so they said light duty. And so I told them that. Nope, they had me stocking shelves. I was there for maybe about an hour, hour and a half before I was doubling over in pain and went home. Um, and I was out for about a week. And the doctor said, you're done for a week. There ain't no way I'm approving you to go back. And before then, and So I went back after the week, and I didn't lose my job then. Everything was fine and all that. It was like 2, 3 weeks later was when I burnt the hell out of my hand. And so, yeah. Anyway, and I know, that was medical. You could have sued. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd still be suing Walmart today if I tried to pursue that. Because that's how those jackasses roll. So anyway, what's up, Steve?
Oh, just looking forward to lying down and going to sleep.
Oh,
I
I hear ya.
got got done what I needed to get done today, and tomorrow's another day, and I'll get the my little engine project, put the mower blade clutch on the shaft, and then mount the
Mm-hmm.
engine into the super mower,
Right.
and see how I feel then, and then if I feel okay, I'll I got plenty of parts to put back on shields and
Yeah.
throttles and chokes and all that stuff. But we
Did
got some snow here, so everything's wet, but it'll dry out. And by the time I get the thing running, it'll be nice to hear it. It's always enjoyable. Oh, I hate the oil, hate the grease, hate the antifreeze, hate the gasoline. Always have, but it's always
Oh, I've always
for.
loved it. I've always
Uh,
loved it.
yeah,
Um,
well, it's always
didn't you
for
say you
that
put
moment. It's
didn't you
always
put
for that
rings in it?
moment. What? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I didn't need a new piston. Fortunately, I didn't need a rod. I think
Did,
it's good. It's an aluminum rod on a steel crank, so no insert.
did you hone it or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I've got that stuff where from the days when I did quite a bit of engine development work, and yeah, it had that, and it was still functioning. So I did a little cross hatch on the cylinder, and
Did you reseat the valves by chance, or did you leave them be?
they were good.
They were good?
Yeah, they're I think in real pretty good shape. I wondered, and there's times where you just leave well enough alone, and
Yep. Yep. No doubt
so
about that. No doubt.
and
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 that's
they're
why I
and
asked you. That's why I asked you if they were good, because I was the same way.
yeah.
I I don't like messing with them if I don't have to.
Well, usually you end up, you find, if what's working right now may not work after you got them apart, but
right.
there's something that I can get at easily is the
Mm-hmm.
thing. Okay, if I got a problem with those, shoot, 5 bolts and whatever like that, and the valve cover comes off, and I can get at the valves. So,
Right.
and it's easier to do while they're on the engine anyway. Well, to get the springs and everything goes off easier on the engine. Then you pull it and go after the valves. But I just let me see how much damage I've done now. But I always enjoy the moment when it's usually about 2 or 3 in the morning when you got the thing on the engine stand and you fire it up and it's breathing hundreds of horsepower. So all I need now is that turbocharger and get this thing up to about 86 horsepower.
There you go. There you go. My mom had she bought and it was a cheap just a cheap lawnmower from wherever, I don't know, probably Walmart or something. Had a Briggs and Stratton motor on it, but it was a cheap lawnmower. I don't think you could even adjust the height of the deck or nothing. And because I think I had to fix the wheels on the damn thing several times. And anyway, it stopped wanting to run. You could get it to start up, but it wouldn't ever take off. It would just kind of run half-ass. It would never take off. And so checked it over. Compression was shot to hell. So I pulled the head off of it, and one of the valve seats actually came loose. The freaking
Oh,
valve seat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I had some stuff that I got at a yard sale, and I bought all of it this guy had. And wasn't too far, I don't think, from you, because it was a yard sale in Springfield, Illinois, and or Springfield, Missouri, sorry. And I the guy had a box, a completely full box of this Wonder Cream stuff. It was in a bottle, like a little squeeze bottle. And supposedly you could fix cracked heads with this stuff. You could fix all kinds of stuff. And I had that, and I thought, okay, I got to see how good this stuff works. So sure enough, I took the keeper off the valve and took the valve out and all that. And sure enough, I put the seat down in there. I got that stuff down in there, and real quick got the valve spring and stuff back on, the retainer back on, and so it would hold it in the right place. And that was that. I let it dry, cure 24 hours, whatever, and fired the damn thing up. And the last I knew, the lawnmower still ran fine. But that's been years. That's been she probably don't have that lawnmower anymore. So
Well, lawnmower engines aren't my expertise, but I'm kind of surprised, Mike, that had replaceable seats in it. But
oh, it did. I don't think it did. I don't
well,
think it really
they
did.
had to be pressed in seats then if they came loose. I would guess.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think they're technically replaceable.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I know that there are engines that you can replace the valve seats,
Oh
including
yeah.
lawnmower engines. But I don't think these were technically replaceable. They were like inserts, but they weren't. The walls were way too thin, to be real honest.
Oh,
All
okay.
the
Well,
valve seats that I've ever replaced had much thicker. Well, there was a lot more meat there than what there was with these. I mean, it was, it was, and it wasn't the same metal either.
no, yeah, it usually isn't.
Right,
We've
right.
done some weird, awful weird things with seats and stuff, different types of
Mm-hmm.
metal or
Yep,
alloys
yep.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
you could tell
like I
that
said, I'm kind of surprised that they even took the trouble to have something like that rather than just grind seats into the
into the
cast.
cast. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I just
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There again,
because it sure didn't work, did it?
no, but today, nowadays, when they make a component for an engine, usually that component will fit on multiple engines. So that may have been why they had that style of seats. Who knows? That block might have gotten used for a different sized engine, you know?
It could be, but they had to cut the seat for it.
Uh
That takes some machining.
right, right, right.
Then press the cup into it.
Press it in there, yeah. Yep.
So seemed
Yeah,
like a lot of work and I know, I haven't even, I can't remember right now. I read all the specs and stuff to these Kohlers. They're pretty sophisticated motor with the forced oil feed and all that. It's just
yep.
the bottom of the oil pump plate being on the outside of the oil pan kind of threw me. I
Now
don't
does that
get that.
does that Kohler have a cylinder sleeve in it or not?
I don't. Yeah,
Because
yeah, it's an aluminum engine. Yeah, it's sleeved.
right.
It's got to be
Okay.
sleeved.
Right, right, okay.
But
Yeah,
I say you can get oversized. I know there's piston I think up to about
right.
40,000. But that sleeve looks well. It, I don't know. Maybe it's cupped on the top or something, but it looks pretty thick.
Pretty thick.
But it was standard from my mic, and it was a standard size, and it was within specs. And I just hopefully I wasn't too thrilled about the rings I got because I thought they should have been a
What
closer
are they
fit.
what are they using these days? Were they chromium or were they moly or what did
I
you
don't, I don't, I don't know. They're supposed to be, high quality, made in the USA deal.
ceramic might even be today.
I think they
It's
were $40 or something, but
that ain't
they
bad though.
two power rings and and two oil rings
I think I
together
used
with
to
a spacer.
I think I used to pay like 20 something for a set of lawnmower engine, typical lawnmower engine rings. And that
Yeah.
was a long time ago,
So,
90s, 80s, 90s.
but I just it appears like it's fitting better, all the way around the piston.
Mm-hmm.
It was continually getting worse all the time, and I suspicion I'd replace the head gasket in it, trying to prevent the smoke, which I think it was blown. But then a few months later, this thing started smoking, and
Mm-hmm.
the last time I cut it short, I quit driving. I said, well, right now, it may just take rings. You keep driving it, even though you
Yep.
have to nurse it along. Now you got a piston, maybe you got a
Yep.
rod.
Yep.
And so I just quit driving and started ordering the parts. And
That's the way to do it.
this little oil thing, extra $46. That's why I just refused to spend, I had a certain amount budgeted, and that's all the money I got left, Mike. So,
I hear ya. I know that feeling. I know that
well,
feeling.
I will say, and now that I've got you on here, you were talking the other day. I don't know who was on. Maybe it's Pat was there, but you were talking about you're in the position to where you really weren't able to do anything to produce more money. I'm not
Right.
saying that right, but
Well, yeah, right.
and that's the point. I've got a little left over, and there's a deal I want to try. Just like I was talking to you guys about this uh, screen printing, heat printing, all that stuff. And I sure can't afford that,
Mm-hmm.
especially not now. But there may be something else I'm going to try, and there, there's a million people out there that they'll print anything you want on a T-shirt. So there's no reason to me to start another hamburger stand and try to
Right,
do
right,
business against McDonald's. So, but there are
right,
some things I want to try that aren't going to cost very much. It'd just have to be a unique item to where uh, people either buy it or they won't, and
right.
otherwise I'm dead in the water. So.
Yeah, it's a bad market right now, especially for uh, I'll call it frivolous things or extras or anything like that.
Yeah.
Bad
Well,
market
and when
right
you
now.
you need a certain amount to try something. I mean, you do need it's. I don't know
Right.
what you think of unless you, that you could generate income from without at least spending a little something someplace.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, I'll shut up
All
and
right. Yeah, I'm gonna
you do
get out
your
of here.
thing.
I'm yawning. I'm tired, and I will, God willing, I will see you all tomorrow. So I hope you all have a good night. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Hope to see you tomorrow night when we go live. So as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom, folks. Good night.
Night, Mike.
Good night, Steve. Good night, John boy.